everyone else's comic. Why does he say this comic is different? It differs this from any other comic that's going on here in this comic here, right? Well, this comic features an action-packed plot filled with twists and turns, and together with a lot variety of characters to quench out even the most expressionful emotions, and also a lot of moral values that we can learn and understand to become better ourselves. And the moment you've been waiting for, ladies of the jury, gentlemen of the jury, it is the chemistry concept, which I know you've been craving for. Now, that can wait after we explain the story. So, Unique, what do you think the janitor story is about?
Now I'm going to talk about not in this topic, we janitor an extraordinary day of a humble janitor with a not so humble secret, having deep understanding of chemistry. Armed with his knowledge and a few characteristic chemicals, he embarks on a day that takes him from mundane custodial duties to unexpected problem-solving feats.
And here, gentlemen of the jury, I present to you copies of our comic. Please have a read as you go through the presentation. Yes, we'll be going in depth into the story as well as understand these characters' motives. Continue, Unique.
Alright, so as you can see, at the beginning of the comic, it is shown that the school that the janitor works in is located near a factory that releases hazardous pollutants. This causes the school to be in really bad condition. As the day begins, the janitor confronts a major incident involving an injured student.
That is on page 5. Yes, it is here. Page 5 and 7. It's an injured student.
So, applying his understanding of chemistry, the janitor quickly treated a wound of the student and saving him from near-death. Soon after, the janitor's day takes a thrilling turn when an accidental chemical reaction triggers a mini explosion in the chemistry lab.
Now that's on this page right here, gentlemen of the jury.
Utilizing his chemistry skills, the janitor devises a solution, averting disaster and earning points from others. As you can see, throughout the day, the janitor uses his chemical knowledge to troubleshoot various issues, establishing himself as the unsung hero of his community. Therefore, in my opinion, the janitor is a delightful blend of science, humor, and everyday heroism, showcasing how an unexpected hero, armed with knowledge and quick thinking, can save the day, one chemical reaction at a time. Do you have any objections, Adam?
Any objections? Why, I think that's 100% correct. Yes, our comic features a very enticing, thrilling story that makes your eyes pop up. When you read this comic, you go, damn, that's a good story. And a lot of chemistry going on, which we'll be getting into the chemistry concepts that we use to make this comic alive. Now, we feature a variety of chemistry concepts that we use in order to flesh out the situations that are going on as the comic. For example, we have two major plot arcs that happen during this comic. One of which is the school and the student getting injured. As you can see, the school is near a factory that is releasing hazardous pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and the sorts, causing the school to corrode little by little every day until on one fateful day, a ceiling tile, which was already rugged to begin with, fell down onto the head of this very unlucky student who was sleeping in class. Now, with that happening, the student was injured badly. The tile fell onto his head and caused a massive wound. So, one of the students then prepared hydrogen peroxide that he found in medical aid kits. And the janitor decided, no, that's not correct. Because hydrogen peroxide is also known as a weak alkali. If Even though its alkali concentration is weak, once poured onto a wound, it can cause many damages to the nervous system and can also be fatal if poured directly onto the head. So what does this janitor do instead? He devises a simple solution involving hot water and salt called saline solution. Now, the saline solution is also known as an activation salt, using this to activate many enzymes in the body to create blood clots. And he also devises another simple solution to use ammonia. Now, ammonia is also known to trigger the inhalation reflex. Yes, a little bit of ammonia and you can wake up a person without their wounds having to be bigger. Now, with all of that combined, we have the student safely and sound. Now, that's one of the chemistry concepts explained. Now we also have another one that's going on. Yes, the overarching plot extends to the fire that's going on onto this page right here. Spontaneously, this fire is caused by an oil accident, right? So the oil accident is mainly preferred and used in fires such as oxygen experiments, and also carbon dioxide experiments. So in order to put the fire out, you just need to spray fire extinguisher onto it, right? So the janitor leaps into action, grabbing a fire extinguisher. He points the nozzle to the flame, clicks the trigger. Nothing happens. The fire extinguisher has been expired. So, in the blink of an eye, using his chemistry knowledge, he devises a simple plan. Knowing that oil fires uses oxygen to engulf itself to flames, he grabs a CO2 canister on the dot, spraying a blanket of CO2, covering the flames and preventing the oxygen from engulfing the fire more, saving the day one chemical equation. Now, gentlemen of the jury, that is chemistry explanations explained. Now let's get on to the most interesting thing we have set up for you guys, the moral values that are present during reading this chemistry comic. Now, the moral values are a lot. We featured a variety of moral values to be included inside this 15-page comic, which we'll be explaining to you right now. Yunin, what do you think one of the moral values are? This is the one.
This moral value is evident in our comic from page 5 to 10 during the roof tile incident. As you can see, during the incident, everyone was judging the janitor when he refused to treat the student's wound using hydrogen peroxide. Little did they know that the janitor was actually making the right decision.
As you can see on this page, everyone was judging him. Everyone was questionable. Everyone was mocking him for making such a rude decision, but it was the right decision.
All of the people just simply assumed that he was being unreasonable, as he's just a janitor. They were being stereotypical that a man with a blue-collar job would be poorly educated. Luckily, the janitor persisted on using his own method and succeeded to save the student, ensuring his safety. Therefore, it is obvious that we should never judge people solely based on their outward appearance, as everyone has different capabilities no matter their social stratification.
That is 100% correct, Yuning. Yes, the most obvious moral value that we can learn in this comic is to never judge a book by its cover. Speaking of which, there's also another one that's going on. Another moral value. Yes, gentlemen of the jury. I'm talking about the fire that happened. So, the fire happened. Say that a fire happens in front of you. What do? You run away. You call 911. 911, what's your emergency? There's a fire going on. What does the janitor do instead? No, he leaps into action. He goes to the crux of the fire and tries to stop it, which explains this moral value, is to always put on a brave face in an imminent sense of danger. Yes, even though we're scared, even though we feel so cornered, we always have to put on a brave face. We always have to put on our strengths in order to achieve and in order to do what's right. This goes on to the last moral value, gentlemen of the jury. The last moral value is a bit sympathetic, but also reasonable. The last moral value I would like to explain is to always be courageous. Yes, even though putting on a brave face might help, it might be important, and it is important. But having courageous in your heart, wise in your mind, and belief in your soul will make you a better person in general and will make everyone around you trust you better. Which is why we included this moral value a little bit, not hypothetically, in this comic, so that every reader can realize that this character is relatable in all sorts of ways. Now, Uni, that's all the moral values, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, which leads us to the final segment of this presentation. The conclusion. Now, the conclusion starts off like this. In a nutshell, we think that this comic features a thrilling story, a lot of expressionful characters, twisting plots, and also interesting chemistry concepts to be used in daily life. We believe that this chemistry can have an impact on students, teachers, people of ages young and old, so that they can realize a lot is to be learned when reading this comic. We also would like to point out that that this comic targets the issues that are happening in PDP. That people think that chemistry is just another subject. We can just throw this out of the window. Yes, this chemistry subject is just nothing, right? Wrong. Chemistry is the most important subject and the most important aspect in life. This comic is targeted and has the objective to strive people to find the importance in chemistry. We, Team Jayo Chemistry, believe in the foundation in chemistry, and we believe that our comic can serve an impact towards students to have love and appreciation to chemistry, and also learn to have those moral values as the main character in the comic. With enticing stories and a lot of characters, I think that's gonna be alright. So, I have been Muhammad Azam bin Muhammad Nosham Sulaini.
Hi, King.
We bid you thank you for our presentation. So, any questions?